It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
This is the Coach's Scouting Report, featuring Coach Rick Venturi on 101sports.com.
Welcome to the Scouting Report here on 101sports.com, along with the coach, Rick Venturi. I'm Zach McCright, and Coach, we got a big game coming up. Rams-Eagles finally getting the season started. So let's go through the Scouting Report. Let's first start on the defensive side. And I know your top priority this week, if you're on the sideline for the Rams on the defensive side, is you got to stop Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin on the outside.
Yeah, I really think, Zach, that there's basically 4 things that you have to stop on defense. But it starts with not letting Jackson and Maclin get on top of your defense. They count on easy plays. It's particularly with Jackson over the top and Maclin coming right behind him. So it's vital that your secondary, your corners plaster those guys through the zones, and your safeties stay high. You don't want to give Mike Vick any easy avenues, and that's the way he tries to get them.
And speaking of that, you need to have a rush plan for Vick as well. What's that?
Number 2, if you're going to stop the Eagles, you've got to have a rush plan for this guy like nobody else. But it's got to be an aggressive one. It can't be something where you're sitting and waiting and spying, because that will tend to slow your team down. There's basically 3 ways to play him. You can 4-man rush, but you need to play zone behind it with vision so that if he scrambles, boom, you can close on him. He doesn't like to scramble versus vision defenses, so that's usually pretty good. I like 5-man rushes. That's blitzing one guy, playing zone behind it, but making sure the edges are cut off, particularly his left edge, and then stunning inside, but keep your lanes. Don't open up gaps between people, because he'll find them. And then the third way occasionally is to bring everybody, 2 guys off the edge and an inside pressure, and just force him to throw hot, which basically takes his legs away.
And watch out for McCoy.
Yeah. What you've got to do, the third biggest priority on the offense is LaShawn McCoy. This is a guy that when things are rough, if you're pressuring him, he's going to catch that screen pass. This guy he was their leading receiver a year ago, big time on the screens. He's the absolute outlet for Mike Vick if everything else breaks down. So when you blitz, when you do things like that, make sure you have a very good defender on McCoy so that he doesn't break one on you.
Rams-Eagles Scouting Report. Let's move to the offensive side of the football, Coach. And I know Josh McDaniels talks about this a lot. He's talked about it all preseason long. He doesn't like to establish the run or establish the pass. He likes to establish the lead.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and never more, and in no other game is this more important. First of all, you've got a new defensive coordinator, a lot of new guys on defense, so there's not a lot of cohesiveness. You want to give them variance. You want to give them varied personnel groupings, various formations, various motions, various plays. You want to attack them. You want to confuse them early in the game. Get on top of them, yes, but create doubt both in their players, make their coordinator have to adjust and adapt. That's the hardest thing with going from offense to defense and never having been a coordinator before. It's not the preparation for the game, it's the adjustment in the game.
And as excited as we are for Sam Bradford in year number 2 for him, we really think that Steven Jackson is going to be the key to this game on the offense.
There's no doubt about it. There's got to be variance. You can't come out and say, well, we're just going to do this. But if you're going to be effective in this game, you're going to need to run Jackson in this football game, particularly to the offensive left, okay? They're basically not structured. They're undersized. Patterson's not real big. The 2 ends are small. They're rushers but small. You got one great player on your right side. That's Jenkins. So make sure he's
Run away
blocked.
from him.
Run away from him. Plus, the middle linebacker's a rookie kid, first game. You want to give him misdirections, wrap plays, counter plays, anything that he's going to take the first bite, and you're going to be able to break back against the grain on him.
And then that's going to set up that Josh McDaniels play action.
Probably the biggest thing, you got to be able to get plays. This is a game of big plays. So basically, if you establish the run, if they know they've got to stop it, they've got to bring Coleman or Page. One of their 2 safeties has got to come down. Once you establish that, once you get that guy down, whoever goes back is an average athlete. He's not a great athlete. He's a tough kid, not a great athlete. There's where you now play action and you work the inside of the field, whether it's Kendricks down on the rim of the field, whether it's bringing a wide out in close, getting him down in the safeties, getting away from the corners. The strength is their corners. The strength is outside the numbers. Basically, where they have trouble is in those inside zones, short and deep, and that's where you got to get your big plays.
Looking forward to it. Rams-Eagles at noon Central Time on Sunday. You'll hear Rick Venturi and Randy Carricker on the pregame at 9 o'clock on 101 ESPN. I'll be with you along with Howard Balzer and Gus Farop for the postgame after it on Sunday. Thanks for joining us on the Scouting Report on 101sports.com.